So I wanted to talk about this, and no, it's got nothing to do with what I'm showing on the screen. I don't know. Honestly, if I had my video editor right now, I probably would have that up right now. But I don't. So, anyway, for me, it's just kind of like I know this whole situation with crowds and things of this nature. You know, people who associate with a set of people on YouTube. You see often on YouTube several different types of cliques and so forth. And, for me, I never tried to fit into a clique. Because for me, it's always been that I kind of feel like with people, I don't. I have a certain perspective of people that's a little different, I think. And if you didn't realize it by now, you should kind of realize it, because when I look at people, when I talk to people on here, when I do videos, you should see how I carry myself. Do I carry myself like I care? I don't. I frankly don't. And there's a reason for this. It's not that I'm trying to be rude or mean to people, but I have an expectation of people. And to be completely honest, I've talked about this all the time. And I've said many times, no one ever fails the expectation. You meet the expectation very perfectly well. And this is why it's kind of weird to me when people make assumptions about me or say things about me on YouTube, because it's like, none of you know me at all in real life, at all. I don't try to create any kind of camaraderie or community with you guys. So how can you know anything about me? Like, most of you don't even know my first name or last name, for that matter. One, because people get so enthralled with other names that I put out there that they don't even pay attention to my actual real name. And, I actually appreciate that, to be completely honest. It's helpful. But to be completely honest, like, for real, no one actually knows me here. They don't know anything about my personal life at all. It is what it is, And I like to keep it that way. You see, a while ago, I would see other people who would try and create um, types of connections with other people, network with other people, and so forth. And I would see exactly how they thought that it would benefit them. That promoting them would actually benefit them, that it would help them, and so forth, And for me, when I've watched people do this, many of the time they turn on each other. And I feel like they're so dumb, because why would you ever trust anyone on here? That's what I want to know. Like, why would you trust anyone with any type of information on you? I've never trusted anyone on here. I've never given any personal information to anyone on here. Anything that I would care about, for that matter. But for some reason, people will try and use that as a reason to shame people and so forth. And there was this whole situation a little bit of a while ago, and They particularly had this situation where this person basically would try and act very smile in your face, but like stab you in the back type of individual. And I found it so funny because it was like, oh, so you want to basically try and act like you are partial to my content, like what I have to say, but really not like me as a person. Because in reality, when I do my videos, I don't intend for anyone to like me like that. That's not my intention. Um, because, like I said, my expectation is my expectation of other people. And this is why I'm not really interactive with other people. But the point was, in the situation, they were basically trying to like my content and even use some of my content for that matter. And they were appreciative of my content and the things I had to say, even borrowed some of what I had to say about specific topics. But at the same time, they wanted to try and align with people who were very cutthroat, like, basically. And they didn't realize or even seem to expect to get their throats cut, basically, by the individual. And I mean, like, in my personal perception of that whole situation, I cheered it on, quite honestly, because it was like, see, you guys always go with mean spirited, evil people. Maybe because you are mean spirited and evil, or is it just that you're gullible? But that's what you always do, you know? And then at the same time, you get surprised when they do you wrong. You're not smart enough to avoid it. You're not smart enough not to get exposed, you know, because you basically try to constantly let people in on your life and try to build a community and communication among people. And, you know, from my perspective, it's just like, I have never tried to do that. I don't know people on the net. If you show yourself, for all I care, I have no idea what your motive is when you talk to me, why you may act okay with me, why you may have an issue with me, why you may be partial to me. You know, I have always been like, for all I know, everyone is an enemy. You know, and that has managed to be very good for me. I mean, I've created my own channel successfully, and, you know, I've not had any problems with anyone in particular because I don't get into people's cliques like that. I don't try to ask to be accepted or anything of that nature. I am not very social. And this has to do with my rearing and how I was reared to see people basically from my perspective. And that might be negative, but it's always kept me on a one track mind, basically, and basically made me goal oriented, even like at my past jobs for that matter. And this is real life, you know. These people actually did know me to some extent, but I never sought out social interaction with them because it's not that I don't want social interaction. I mean, there was a time in life when I did want social interaction with people, but it's kind of like at this point, you know, you kind of accept people for who they are, and you accept yourself for who you are, you know, and you love yourself for who you are, you know what I mean? But like at my old jobs and things of that nature, I always have been very much centered around the work I do, not the people that I worked with or worked for. I never really liked acknowledging their existence, basically, because they weren't important, in my opinion. See, from my perspective, I don't think people's opinions of me are important. And the reason I don't think people's opinions of me are important is because why should I think that people's opinions of me are important if I have my own opinion on them and myself? Shouldn't I matter more? I mean, I am me. I'm not them. My perspective is going to be my perspective. Their perspective is going to be whatever it is. And I feel like if they don't know me, and most people don't, then how can they really know who I am as a person? How can they really judge anything if they don't know me? You get what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just like, I think what I'm trying to say out of this is that, like, I like the position I put myself in when it comes to my channel. And I look to other people that I was just talking about, and I'm not going to say names or anything, but, I look to them and I'm like, you guys tried to come up with some kind of partnership, friendship, or whatever, and it didn't even work out for you guys because you just got messed over and you had them talking poorly about you, and they exposed you in ways that you probably did not want to be exposed for. You were able to get enough trust to be gullible enough to let your guard down, to expose yourself to this person so they could use information against you. And it's just like, from my perspective, this is a thing I never do, really. I'm very much a distant type of person who's not really interested in, like, trying to expose myself to people or anything like that to give them something to turn it into a bad thing, or a negative aspect to me, you know. I just am not like that. I guess I'm not dumb enough to do that. That could just be with the whole situation of my IQ being very high and the fact that, I graduated high school and college without, you know, putting much work into it and with a high GPA. So, I guess it's a matter of an intelligence level. But yeah, that's just my commentary on that whole situation there. And if anyone knows the situation I'm talking about, I mean, I'm pretty descriptive here. You might understand the content creators I'm talking about. But anyway, it's just kind of like a few things I was thinking about in regard to my channel and how I move about on YouTube and so forth. So thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye.